Hello, ladies that are already pregnant or looking to get pregnant. I'm just wanting to share a little bit of information that I think can be very beneficial and hopefully at least a little bit of inspiration as well. Now, one thing to realize when we are thinking about getting pregnant, I just recently had a baby about 18 months ago. But when thinking about getting pregnant, it's really good to think about the state of your body and the state that it's already in. So if you haven't gotten pregnant yet, you might think about doing some type of fasting, some type of cleansing just to clean everything out. Because remember, the baby's going to inherit everything that is good with you, but also some things that can be deficient going on in your body. So it's always best to be optimal when shooting to have a child. Now, thinking of that, as soon as we have this process of the procreation, the situation that happens where all of a sudden all these cells start to divide and create a human being, we need to understand that it takes a massive amount of nutrients and energy to create that process. And so it's very important specifically for mothers to be aware that there may be some nutritional deficiency that's experienced. So it's really important to have a variety of whole foods and be really open as well to your intuition as a woman. I think it's very important to follow your intuition, but a lot of times what you're craving and what you're addicted to might be mistaken for intuition as well. So I believe it's very important to get a wide variety of nutrition, and it's really easy to make that happen. There's a few key principles that you can bring into your lifestyle that will at least make sure you're not nutritionally deficient. One of those things would be, let's say, a green smoothie. A green smoothie that my wife loves to have and I love to have. It's just simply 1 chopped apple, 2 sticks of celery, a big handful of spinach, maybe 4 or 5 dates, 2 to 3 bananas, half of an avocado, and maybe a quarter of a cucumber. You put that into a blender, you put in about half of the blender full of water, and you really rip that up into an amazing smoothie that has a vast array of different nutrients that are going to be critical for building this new baby inside of you. Another thing about this is digestion is very important. As you start to progress through the months, that baby is going to put stress on your digestive system. So if you're continuing to eat maybe a Western type lifestyle and diet, this can be very detrimental to your digestive system as it gets tougher and tougher to digest foods. And now remember, 60 to 80% of your energy is actually being used to digest foods. And that energy is being used typically when foods are cooked and when foods are processed and they don't have the live enzymes intact. So when you go to eating raw whole foods, fresh fruits, vegetables, and salads, I really would recommend to make this at least 1 meal a day, and preferably 2 to 3 meals a day, and maybe just having a little bit of cooked and satiating stuff at night. That's what I personally would recommend. So what are some other things you can do? Personally, I love to break my fast or have breakfast first thing in the morning, and that would consist of typically a lot of fruit, or I may even have like muesli, and when I make it, I just get the raw organic oats, I add hot water, you stir it up, it makes basically oat milk, and then you can throw in some different nuts and seeds. There's a vast array of nutrients supplied within almonds, walnuts, pecans, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds. Just putting a few of these things into a breakfast is going to give you ample amounts of nutrition. It's also going to be really high in fiber and help move through the body. And I know that one thing for women that can come up is emotional stuff, sometimes depression, thinking about all kinds of different things. So oats are a natural antidepressant. So that's a great thing to have in the mornings. And routine. The body loves routine. If you get into a routine that you're following almost every day, it's actually a good thing. So, maybe having the muesli every morning, and if it gets to be too much, maybe have fruit instead or a smoothie. Then in the afternoon, let's say lunch, having, a big salad that you make and really putting everything in there. We'll even be posting on our website information of different recipes for dressing, because if you make the right dressing, the salad is going to taste fantastic and you're going to love it and you're going to be looking for that every single day. So it's really important to understand that that baby is being built, its internal organs, its whole brain, its consciousness, its constitution, its physical body is being built on the nutritional building blocks that you're putting into yourself. And yes, your body has lots of stores of different things, but you don't want to become deficient, because then you'll start to experience morning sickness, you start to experience many different things. Now, if you're having morning sickness, a thing that you can do is try a shot of wheatgrass, and try that a couple days in a row. Wheatgrass has a massive array of nutrients, so if you're lacking in something, your body will really pull from that. But if you're doing the green smoothies, you're eating fruits and a variety of these other things, I don't think you're going to be deficient. So what about after? What about after you've had the child and breastfeeding? You know, the thing about life and the thing about health is it's all universal. You know, the principles that you're applying to get healthy or to maintain health or to be pregnant or to breastfeed, it's pretty much all the same. So, you know, it's going to be me repeating the same thing over again. You know, having smoothies, maybe switching it up, trying fruit smoothies, green smoothies, getting a variety of nutrients. I would say steadily eating as well. You know, not going a long period of time and then having a meal and then going a long period of time, but just kind of grazing throughout the day. You know, that keeps your blood sugar regulated. It's good for weight loss as well. And it can also just continue to give you good nutrients that you're providing, because a baby is really sucking out a lot of nutrients from you for however long that you're going to be breastfeeding. And I highly recommend, you know, doing your best to go as long as you can. It's really important to get that colostrum first thing when the baby's born. So make sure that baby gets that first amount of colostrum, which is going to build the immune system. It's going to protect your baby from getting sick for especially the first 3 to 6 months until it really starts to get healthy and its own immune system starts to kick in. Now Sienna, the things that we feed her, she's just a fruit bat, and she's totally raw most of the time. We've, you know, tried giving her steamed vegetables and potato and some different things, and she likes it, but she really leans towards having lots of fruit. So we do mashed up bananas, we do papaya, we do all sorts of different things. And if you're looking for recipes once your child is getting to the point of developing teeth and wanting to eat, definitely come to tylertolman.com and simply look for some of the recipes and the things that we'll have on that website. So last but not least is, as your child is growing, just realize that you're a role model. Whatever you're eating and whatever you're doing is what your baby's going to do. So if you're thinking, oh, I want my baby to be really healthy, but you're over here eating a lot of cooked, a lot of maybe processed foods or even candy and chocolates and things that maybe are not that great a source, your child is going to see what you're doing and they're going to want exactly what you're doing. So just think about that. Keep that in mind as you're raising your child. Your child is going to become you. Your child wants to become you. You're going to be that positive role model in that baby's life. So maybe it's a good time now to make some conscious decisions about modifying your lifestyle and really getting healthy. Now, is it all about diet? Absolutely not. The other thing that we need to throw in there is that there's 7 principles of health. Number 1 is air and breathing, and realizing that when you take a big, deep breath in and let it out, you're alkalizing the body, you're releasing acid, you're oxygenating the blood. There's a lot of things that are taking place. When I breathe consciously and deeply, my diaphragm is expanding, pushing the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is there to carry out all the toxins, to get rid of waste, to literally keep you healthy and feeling good. So sitting down and doing an exercise I call 7 rounds of 7. In for 7 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, out for 7 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, and you do that 7 times. If you come to tylertolman.com, you can download a free audio. Doesn't cost you anything, and you can just listen to that. And I'm sitting there counting through the seconds and telling you what to do. It takes about 4 minutes, and you really feel energized afterwards. So if you're feeling down, if you're feeling moody especially, and having emotional problems during the pregnancy, not that it's a problem, but you're just going to have emotions coming out, it's great to be able to have this breathing exercise to just go through, because it fully balances you again. Next one is water. Hydration is absolutely critical. And, you know, eating high fruits and smoothies and things are going to hydrate you, but water is also vastly important. Again, you know, you're going to have a lot of things happening during pregnancy. I would recommend drinking 3 to 4 liters of water per day, along with everything else. So when you wake up first thing in the morning, you should have a routine. And if you write down a routine for your day and you stick with it, you're going to be successful. If you don't write this stuff down, you just think, oh, I can kind of do this, you're probably going to taper off and not do it. So wake up first thing in the morning, drink 1 liter of water within the first 15 to 20 minutes that you're awake, and I would recommend going for a walk. 30 to 45 minutes. That walking and drinking water is going to hydrate your entire body. It's going to protect all your ligaments and joints. It's going to hydrate the organs, and it also balances you by walking. That cross-patterning motion will balance the brain. It'll relieve stress, keep your emotions at bay so you and your husband can still connect in a beautiful way. And it will also probably move yesterday's materials out. You'll probably have a bowel movement, which is a good thing, that you want to have happen every single morning. And then from there, throughout the day, just monitor. By noon you have another liter, maybe by 3 or 4 o'clock you have another liter. And if you're drinking at least 3 liters of water along with the fresh fruits, smoothies, stuff like that, you're going to be optimal. You're going to be doing awesome. Next one, exercise. I talked a little bit about that. If you're just walking 45 minutes a day, that's awesome. That's a very basic level of saying, okay, I'm getting my base rate exercise. Anything over and above that you can do, if you walk 2 times a day, if you have a yoga class or any type of other activity that you can do, that's going to be super beneficial, especially for your body and for the body of the baby coming out. Having that exercise is absolutely amazing. I would recommend yoga. I would recommend any type of activity like that, and probably not anything that's too high impact. So what else do we have? Whole foods, we talked about that. What about sunshine? Now there's been a lot of studies of sunshine that shows, a mother getting out into the sun does all kinds of things. The sunlight relaxes the nerves. It eases stress. Light is needed in every single cell of the body for the cells to know when to produce. It gives them the information that they need for their life cycle to take place the way that it should. There's also studies showing that women that are out in the sun are going to have a much better birth. Really, it shows that children, this is Dr. Shelton, by the way. If you want to look into Dr. Shelton, he did an entire book just on sunlight and its effect with human beings and children. And he says, through the studies that he's done, a child that gets out into the sun, and even a mother that gets out in the sun while she's pregnant, the child's going to have a much healthier childhood. It's going to have a better immune system. It's going to have the hormones that it needs and everything for the body to communicate. There's things that I can't get into right now just because it's a simple video, but sunlight does things that we can't even imagine. They call it vitamin D. When we get in the sun hits the skin, it converts cholesterol inside and into vitamin D, and it's actually not a vitamin at all. It's a hormone that affects the communication of the entire body that does absolutely brilliant things. And during pregnancy, highly important. Rochelle was out there just about every single day, either sunbaking or in the pool on a floaty, just being out in the sun until she was pretty much ready to pop. And I can tell you that Sienna gets out in the sun every single day. We take her out, we play, we take her to the beach, and she is just absolutely full of energy, full of vitality. And yes, remember, your kids are going to go through, feverish times when they're having the teething happen. So keep this in mind. When your kids are teething and they start to go through fever, don't run off and get antibiotics. Don't run off and, freak out. Just understand that it's a natural process that kids go through. I've gone through it twice. We've gone through it with Sienna, and it's just been, when you're in that moment of your child having the fever, you want to do everything you can to help. You want to give them antibiotics. But anti means against, and biotic means life. So antibiotic means against life. And all we want to do is support life. So just keeping up hydration, if you can get some coconut water, some electrolytes, some natural form of electrolytes into the baby, that would be fantastic during those times. So that's pretty much what I wanted to share. Nutrition, and then you got to remember passion. Still having something that you're passionate about and channeling your energy into. If you're not still being passionate in your life because you're pregnant and you're just sitting back doing nothing, that passion is going to be channeled into emotional upset and things that happen. So try to stay focused and have a passion in your life, and then keep your relationships happy and clean as much as you can. We need to also understand that the internal environment is being observed through your emotions by the baby. So the baby is developing a sense of the outside world based on what you're experiencing. And if you're constantly stressed, if you're constantly emotional, if everything's freaking out when you're pregnant, especially with relationships, it's not going to be the best situation or optimal situation for your baby. It really should be a time that you can relax at different times. You can still be passionate at different times. You're being healthy, and you're really just enjoying the whole process. Now there's a video coming up that my wife would love for you to watch. It's a beautiful, inspirational video that you're going to love. So go ahead and watch this, and then afterwards there's also a checklist that's going to come with this of things that you can go through that will really help with this entire process. So enjoy the video and have a beautiful night.
I am days away from change, a new place to rest my head, a place to rearrange. I am days away from waving goodbye to my friends. I am days away from change, from one last touch until the next time. I am days away from waving goodbye. So long to all of this, but it's alright. Oh, sooner or later I change my out there and lay them on the table. I am days away from waving goodbye. So long to you all, but it's alright. Oh, sooner or later I change my change must come. Oh, sooner or later we become. Oh, sooner or later a change must from change. I am days away from change. Well, I am days away from change.